Well, I'm following Linda with it's going to happen the way it's going to happen because I didn't bring the right papers with me. Not that it matters, but oh, okay, now we're there. So I'm the universe.
Take the microphone.
Yeah, I have the microphone somewhere here. Okay.
All right, now try.
Now.
How about this? No. Okay, I can talk in this. So, yeah, it's working. No, this is better. It gives me, yeah. I'm the universe. It sounds like a big word, but that's truly what we are. And I'm the world, that's also what we are. This is not what we are being told. This is not what has been preached. But I love to watch Neil deGrasse Tyson. He is an astrophysicist on the computer. And as he explains it, and then we will go into the rest, as he explains it, that we are made of subatomic particles. And in the universe, there is positive and negative. They counteract and bring creation, they bring energy. And as human beings, we have, the left side is our feminine, the right side is our masculine. The brain is the left side, is the feminine. The right side, no, the left side is the masculine and the right side is the feminine, it's the opposite. So you constant have this balance and energy and movement in your body. And then the next thing is that each organ in our body has a frequency, a vibration, and a tone. Now, were we told this, that we can sing to an organ and say how much I love you, please heal? We haven't been introduced to that way of approaching ourselves. And so to start with, make me an instrument. When you become an instrument for God, when your heart opens, everything in your body changes. The frequency in your body changes. And today I listened to On Being, which is 7 o'clock in the morning. And they were talking about, they have now discovered that the mind, which we talk so loosely about, they don't know where it is. And they also talked about that the brain is not touched by love itself. The brain is touched by love when the body feels the love inside of it through the heart. It will then reach the brain, and then the brain will send out signals. If you want to listen to it, it's Richard David was his name, and when he was talking on being, it's a mind-opening experience how we have not been aware how precious we are, how magical we are, how beautiful we are. And this is what I want to give you. And so, Melvin, the next one, please. So what I would like you to... What happened? Hello? Hey. So what I'd like you to do is to look at their expressions. How does that feel when you hear them sing this wholeness, this oneness? So how did it feel? Awesome, huh?
Yes.
It brings tears to my heart, what energy they put in here. And yeah, okay. Melvin had another idea. Oh, we're now going to,
You want to see that other one?
well, we are in the flow.
We're in the flow. I can make that happen. Give me a second. I gotta go out to get it, but I certainly can make it happen.
So Melvin came up with another idea. He said, I've heard that so many times. I haven't. I actually have the CD of this Prayer Around the World. But Melvin then said, look at this part of that film. And that is the end where Harry Belafonte becomes honored with his Banana Boat song. And I think that is the title, but I remember.
If I could add, I was trying to put the thing together for her, and I was trying to find a good, clear video. So I found an hour-long video where it was behind the scenes. And they're up late in the night working on this song. And then someone in there, they said, it's about time to go home. And you know Harry Belafonte's song, Daylight's Come? Okay, I'm not
Yeah.
So they just organically grow into this fantastic song and just having fun with it.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful watching them all become one. And I was really touched by that.
Yeah. So, are you going to show that?
Yes, I'm going to show it. So I just want to set it up. Give me a second now. Okay.
Boy, we good. The highest point was.
What are some pieces that follow?
In their own right, yeah. All the people that are here are poetry in their own right, and of course, I'm just so happy to get to see them.
You know, when I close my eyes and try to see the voices behind them, I turn around and look at their faces. I just love it.
It's something out of a dream. To see all that energy together is what I've always wanted to see. It's a kind of energy that really can change the world. It's incredible.
So let's start giving.
All in all,
for about 4 hours that night until nearly 2 a.m., recording all the necessary parts to complete the song's tightly woven chorus. Just before the chorus broke up, there was this spontaneous tribute to Harry Belafonte.
Okay, Mel.
I remember I was so in love with Harry Belafonte. I saw his movie about 6 or 7 times. Okay, the next one, please. So now we're going to see the cosmos. There is a movie on IMAX, is the Apollo 3 that has been filming the whole cosmos, and if you ever have a possibility to watch it, it is awesome. You're there sitting in that auditorium and you're absolutely in space, and you see this and then you see all the movements. Now imagine yourself floating out here. You leave the chair and your energy body floats out here in this picture, and you are in the nebula. You are among the stars. One of the things you see when you watch the Apollo 3 out in space, how new stars are born. They come out of a little pocket and they shoot out with a tremendous speed. So this is what we are built up of. This is what Neil deGrasse Tyson talks about, that planets billions of years ago were created and exploded, and planets exploded and recreated, and that's what we are built up of. We have the universe inside of us. And if we have the universe inside of us, we have God inside of us, because what created all this? God. So take a deep breath and say, I'm home. Touch your heart. I'm home. You are created of this amazing, amazing space and universe. And then, of course, then the physical body sometimes is a little bit of a, in contrast to it, that we remember that we are God. The body wants attention and the body has memories. And the memories, if we can have the next picture. Yes. Do we know what this is?
General idea.
It is what you think it is. It is the sperm hitting the ovum.
It's a different kind of church in here this morning.
This, I remember so well when I lived in Sweden in the 1970s. Leonard Nielsen was his name, and he was a Swedish photographer, and he showed this on the TV. I think for weeks and weeks we all at work were talking about this. So the sperm hits the ovum. It is the ovum that sends out a light. And if the light is not there, there is no conception. And the light is extremely hot and brings the two cells, different cells together. And that's where the birth is created. Isn't it magnificent? And it is the ovum that chooses the sperm. It is not the other way around. And also we have to go back to that the female is passive and the male is active. This is what we're all built up on, and that is why that young man, when they're in the teens, they are obsessed with sex, and because that is the grow in their body. They can't help that. And we have stepped away of introducing young men how to handle those hormones. Maybe one day we remember, and there are schools for kids to go in, where they, what? Jennifer is doing. Are you talking to me, Jennifer?
No, no.
Came over here like two schoolboys.
Yeah, well, it is not something that we.
No, we were enjoying it. No,
We
yeah,
don't-
we just went in a whole other direction. No,
Okay,
it's-
okay,
it's
no, it's
fine.
okay. Okay, so now we go to the next. Sure, so these are the sperms that, you see how many? And this is only a little picture. So now the sperms go back. And they collect themselves in little balls. Isn't this amazing that he could film this? He also filmed what happens when it happens in your eyebrows, in your eyelashes, and I'm not going to talk about it because
This is much more interesting.
Yes.
Oh, that's neat.
well, we say this is the church. We don't usually talk about it, but this is us. This is how we were created. See, there is that light again.
Oh, interesting.
Isn't it fabulous how we exist and how we came to existence? Do we reflect on that? Do we come home and think about things, amazing things, or do we turn on the TV and say, okay, I'll go a little bit to sleep because today I don't have the energy to be present with myself? So in the meantime, till we get the next picture, so we have two brains, actually three, but they are now talking about the second brain, which is the gut, where all our memory is, where all our pain is, where we all have stored something which we thought was very important to store there. Because then we could relive it and relive it and relive it and stay in a place of unhappiness. And so if the gut is that what rules our body, how do we go about embracing that what has pained us? Because that is how we see it. Something has pained us, and so how do we embrace it? How do we stop of pointing the finger out there and say, what can I do about it? How do I become responsible? What has been happening in my life? And what do you think is the way? To love yourself. To love yourself. To forgive yourself. And not say, I'm sorry. That's a word I have removed. You can sometimes say, I'm sorry, but the real, when you say, do you think you have done something? You can say it in a different way. You can ask, can I do this over? Can I express it in a different way? Of how can I approach you from a different way? Where you connect in a whole different way than when you say, I'm sorry. Because when you say, I'm sorry, then the other person says, oh, no, it's okay. So now we are at the chakras, our power points. Are you all familiar with the chakras? Please reach up a hand if you don't, because then I go a little bit deeper. Okay. So the base chakra, the red chakra down below. So if you want to meditate and you want to go quickly into a meditation, you squeeze your butts 3 times, and an energy will go up through your spine to your brain, and it will say, okay, now I have to relax. That's the trick. I've meditated for 30 years. And so that is the grounding chakra. It is also a chakra that holds us in patterns. And then the orange chakra is co-creation. And co-creation is the universe. Constant are we co-creating. The birds, the bees, the flies, the humans. And you know, it is a strange thing to think about, but here it is daytime in Australia, it's nighttime, it's a day ahead. So if you look at how the world is, how this earth is working, we get up, somebody else goes to bed, we are having breakfast, another person is on the other side of the world is having dinner. The circle that is circling around itself is amazing. And we are part of that. We maybe think, I am I, but we are, through those amazing energy points, connected to each other. So the yellow one, the navel, that is where the umbilical cord was to your mother, is our power point, and in the Chinese tradition they call it the Danchen. This is really where the Chinese medicine works from your gut. It's a power point. So if you are a little bit off and feel a little bit nervous, you can breathe into this area and bring the feeling of feeling safe within yourself, which helps. And then you come to the beautiful heart. Now between the yellow chakra and the green chakra is a line that each person has in his body. These are the lower chakras. This is where you live in habitual behaviors, where this is where you have fear, where you are seeing the world with lack. When you go to the green, to the heart, and you are touched in your heart, and the heart opens up, then everything changes. The frequency in your body changes, because the heart has a brain by itself, it has a brain of itself, but goes, what happens in your body, it listens all the time in to your body, or your mind. So once you come to the heart, everything shifts. In the mystical group, you were talking about different glasses. Sometimes they suggest walk with pink glasses outside for a while, for a couple of days, and your brain will be affected by the pink as well. So then we come to the throat chakra. So once you're in the heart, the throat chakra starts behaving differently, and the heart will express divine words of love and harmony. That is our journey. And our journey is to find our divine self. Nobody is judged for not being there, because we're all in the same school. We're in Earth School, where we learn to be divine beings. And then the third eye is the spiritual eye. And then the red on the very top, which should be lavender, because that is indigo. And you all have heard of indigo children that are psychic and very different. They are sent here to open us who are asleep. And they have that indigo color around them. And kind of magical when you give them a chance to open up. And then we have the crown chakra, which is our direct connection to God, because we have another chakra above our head, the 8th chakra, which is supposed to be God. But if we have lots of voices and lots of stories moving in us, from the moment we get up to the moment that we go to bed, all this is kind of covered. And so when we take a shower, you say, oh my goodness, I am here showering away everything. Because who is in charge? You are. Nobody can do it for you. And I can share with you that my life has not been easy. It's not been a very friendly life. But I have had help. And not always from human beings. I've had help from angels and teachers and guides on the other side. So if you need help, ask for it. The other side is not allowed to step in until you ask. And my purpose of wanting to share with you that you are the universe, you are the world. I just wish that everybody can feel that true potential, that true inheritance. Also, what I want to share is that each person has a magnetic field around them. Some have shorter, some have longer. And so if somebody comes out in through the door here, that person has already connected with everybody in here. But because we have so many stories and so many things happening up here, we can't feel it. But when you're very sensitive, you can. So people who are very sensitive, life is difficult because they get all those inputs from other people that is not theirs. And they sometimes don't know what to do with it. So the breath is your gateway to your freedom. Does anybody have a question? No? So this must be very clear then what I've shared with you.
Yes, it is,
Good
Claire.
job.
You gave us clarity. Clarity. I got clarity.
So the body has a body intelligence. And what does that mean? If you ask questions about your body, because the body has the mind, and the mind, as I said before, they don't know where it is, it floats around. But the mind is always there, like spirit is always there, the soul is always there. So you have this whole array of help, of service, of guidance. Isn't that amazing?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And sometimes I have learned that sometimes when I ask a question, it doesn't come 5 minutes later. It doesn't say, okay, here's the answer. No, maybe I'm vacuum or doing something else, and then pop up, there is the answer. And I know all of you have had that experience. So my wish for my heart before I start the meditation is that we learn to open up to each other. That is what I Am the World was about. That we feel safe with each other, so we can say to each other, I love you. Can I hold your hand? Can I be your friend? Because all of us have moments that we feel lonely. Right? In that moment of loneliness, can we reach out? And if we don't, you go to the mirror, take a candle with you, set it in the bathroom, look at the mirror, and the bathroom is the perfect place because it is kind of a smaller space, and you look in the mirror and ask yourself, what is happening? And you look in your eyes and you say to yourself, I'm willing to connect with you. I don't need to feel lonely. I am here for you. And that's it. Thank you. And Chris is helping me with so I would like us to take a deep breath and place our hands on our heart. The right hand first and the left hand over it. And we take another deep breath. Be beautiful, beautiful beings, magical, amazing, willing to accept and love ourselves, are here together in this journey on planet Earth. Awakening to the call that is so strong now, as the changes in the universe have happened and are happening. The universe is with us, the force is with us now. We all have an opening to bring home that is truly yours, the divine, awakening within you. The divine speaking through you. The divine holding you. Take a deep breath. And say to yourself, I